going on YouTube? Welcome to Bass Dad Outdoors. I'm coming at you with a project that I have been working on. As you can see, I have the Intex Inflatable Explorer K2 kayak. And cool kayak by itself. It comes with like a pump, it comes with two paddles, two inflatable little seats that attach inside this thing. But it's got a soft blow-up floor and obviously blow-up edges, and it seats two people right off the bat. It's fun, but you sit like way down inside it. So I had gotten this as a gift for Christmas, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm wondering if I could convert it to a fishing kayak. But it would not be feasible the way that it originally comes. So more thought went into this, and I had looked it up on YouTube. Only found one other guy that had done one. I did a nice job, and but I wanted to give a shot at it for myself. And some of his modifications I wasn't so sure on. So I went ahead and did my own version of it. So you're gonna find on mine, I've got like an 8-foot piece of plywood in the bottom. It's 3/4 inch plywood, so it's nice and sturdy, and gives me a good platform to work with inside the kayak. It's an 8-foot piece, and what I did is actually laid it down on the tables, sat the kayak on it uninflated, and then traced out the bottom floor. Now it doesn't take up, it doesn't go all the way from end to end because the kayak is longer than 8 feet. So it really doesn't matter. It goes all the way up, both sides, as far as it can go, and really gives it a very, very sturdy platform. What I did after that was then routed the edges, the upper and lower edges, all the way around it. So there's no sharp areas on the plywood at all, and made sure that all of the edges are nice and rounded off and smooth. The seat, this is just a regular boat seat. I did not put a swivel on it. I literally attached it with its own bolts that came with the seat. And what I did underneath the seat where the bolts are, because obviously we don't want the sharp bolt heads touching anywhere on this thing that would inflate or deflate or cause a hole. So what I actually did, I actually used an old mat from in the house, and it's one of the soft little foam mats. Cut it in half, and actually put it underneath where the bolts are underneath. So in between that and the actual kayak, the bolts in the kayak. That way we don't have to worry about being fishing and then all of a sudden you don't have air in the bottom of your boat. Now that being said, it's actually its own separate chamber, so even if it did, you're not going to sink. These two inflatable pontoons on each side of you make up the upper portion of the kayak. So it works very well. So this folds down obviously for transport, and works great. So one of the other modifications that you could do, you could build a little permanent box in the back here, make it out of wood or whatever you wanted to do, but I wanted to make it easy when I wanted to store this for, say, winter, and I didn't want to take a kayak out. I wanted to be able to take it all apart, but I'm going to leave the seat and the bottom together, and the seat's very, very light. So mine, I have a box that's made out of acrylic, and I actually just modified it, cut the top off, cut the handles off, and I added in the very back here, I added 2.5 inch PVC pipes and screwed them into the box, and those are my vertical rod holders. So when I'm paddling, I can set my rods down behind me, they're sticking straight up, they're not tangling up, and I can just paddle to where I want to go. You should be able to modify this if you really wanted to put a little trolling motor on it or whatever you wanted to do. I like to paddle. I like a little bit of a workout, so to me, it makes fishing out of a kayak to me a little bit more fun. So some people don't like that. They like to be able to just troll the motor, go, and they don't have to worry about it, which in wind and all that might obviously be a better option, but still. So I had originally taken this boat seat. This is kind of a little pointer for you. Inside this, there is a mark in the front, in the front area of the boat that shows a line. I didn't really pay attention to that line, what it would actually mean. However, after getting this whole thing together, I had originally made a little bit of a, I wanted to try and get my seat up higher, but I had originally built this little platform, and the platform, the seat sat up here. I had a little storage area down here. I thought this is going to be awesome. In fact, the video that I went and looked at actually showed the guy building a little platform and all that stuff underneath the boat seat. And I thought, well, that'd be great, cool, you know. But let me tell you, I put this seat on there and I sat in it. I put my butt in that seat. Went to push off the dock. It seemed like it was sturdy, but man, as soon as I let go of that dock, that thing started tipping. And I grabbed that dock in a hurry. About put myself in the water right at the dock. So quickly reloaded my kayak back in my truck. And that's the other nice thing about this. They're light. It's super light. I can load it, unload it by myself. It's got the removable fin in the back, so you just pull the fin out. You can slide it up in the back of the truck, bolt it down, or wrap it down, and good to go. But that being said, so yeah, I would highly suggest do not put a build-up underneath your seat if you're going to do this. It makes it very top-heavy. So the lower you can get down in, when you originally get it, you literally sit. Your arms are pretty much up to your rib cage, down inside it. So I mean, it's super sturdy. Like when you're sitting in it, you're not going to tip over. But if you do that, if you do put a platform underneath this, it will tip over. You become extremely top heavy. So that being said, don't do that. Bolt it right to the plywood. It sits you down. It's still comfortable. I've got a very padded seat, which you can get. I mean, from the academy or whoever you go to for boat parts and boat stuff, you can actually go there and get that. Yeah, I mean, this, like I said, this is removable. This is removable. So if I wanted to, I'm going to actually store this in my attic. I'll deflate it, put it back in its bag that it comes with, stick it up in my attic during the winter. Because, yeah, you do get a little bit wet when you're out there kayaking and paddling and doing all that stuff. So if you had a trolling motor, you definitely would be able to use this, like even in the cold time. You could get in this, go out, go crappie fishing, go bass fishing, do whatever you want, and use a little trolling motor and have no problem. But that being said, I don't want to do that, or I'm not planning to do that. Maybe down the road I might, but for now, this is where we're at. So yeah, it works out really well. It does, the kayak actually does come with a hand pump, and this hand pump is very fast. It actually inflates this thing in a hurry. I thought, oh come on, it's going to be, you know, it's going to take forever to do that. But really, it doesn't. It actually works very, very well. So a couple other things I've added onto this, a couple tie-ons to the front and back handles here to put it, you know, to attach it to the dock. Pretty straightforward, but it holds a ton of stuff. I have a big backpack that I have all my tackle in, and it's heavy. It does not bother this thing at all. It would hold a very large tackle bag up between your feet or up at your feet without an issue, without causing any buoyancy problems or, you know, wanting to tip over or whatever. You can find this particular blow-up kayak, as well as probably many other ones, on Facebook Marketplace. I've actually found this exact one on Marketplace for $50. And they said, oh, you know, no leaks or whatever. So if you're picky and you're looking, you can find them. So they work amazing. I was actually out with a guy, met him, named Bill, and this dude had an amazing kayak. It was awesome. A bit jealous. It was not an inflatable, but I also didn't put $3 or $4 grand into my kayak. This kayak, I actually got these for free from a guy. We were talking, and he was like, "Hey, I got these sitting on a shelf. So I got these for free. I got this for free. This is all modified. Got the floor as well. It's free. Just scrap wood. So keep your ears open. You can find the parts you need. Now it took me a little while to get these parts and get them together, but that's why I wasn't in a rush, because I'm like, I really don't want to have to sink a whole lot of money into this. So here we are. I've got this kayak. I can actually fish this thing and feel comfortable. And I can get this thing up in the reeds, up in the weeds. I fished all day, one day, all through the lily pads, everything. I never had a problem. This thing went wherever I wanted it to go. It does not sit super low in the water, so it really can go in a very, very shallow area. Obviously, you're not going to be taking this up and trying to pull it through stuff that would pop it, or whatever. But you just have to be mindful of that. But I literally have had no issues at all fishing with this thing. And the guy that I fished with on Saturday last week was amazed. He's like, man, that thing really works good. I mean, if you want to get into a fishing kayak, you don't want to sink a ton of money into it, this is the way to go. It is a great, great opportunity and easily stored. So that's the other thing to keep in mind. Very difficult to store an entire full-size kayak with a trailer. Man, when I'm done with this, deflate it, stick it up in my attic, and it's out of my way. So it takes some creativity and a little bit of thinking through your plan to get to where you want to be. And this is where I wanted to be. I mean, it's really cool, and it's a lot of fun. So it's a good workout when you're out fishing too. It's not just sitting around doing nothing. You're actually paddling, getting the kind of upper body workout, and enjoying being out on the water. So it's pretty awesome. Couple things I will probably end up including. I'm going to probably end up coming up with a small anchor or something to keep me in place, because you're in a kayak, it's light, and the wind comes, and you just kind of blow with it. If you're not, if you're fishing a spot, it's kind of hard to stay sometimes if you're not out of the wind. So that might be something I might add, down the road here. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and hopefully you guys can, use your creativity, use your imagination, come up with some other ways to modify your kayak. You could even put milk crates back here. There's so many things. I'm going to put a little footrest up front for my feet, and just stuff like that. It's going to help kind of modify it to make it my own personal, fit. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Thanks for visiting, and like and subscribe if you could at the end.